Good morning. This is Dr.Arputhamary, Associate Professor, PG Department of Computer Applications, Bishop Heber College, Trichy. Today we are going to discuss about what is Big Data and Hadoop. Outline of today's presentation is definition of Big Data, what is Big Data, types of Big Data, characteristics of Big Data, Hadoop, how Hadoop differs from traditional databases, and the benefits of Hadoop. Big Data definition. According to Gartner, Big Data is defined as a high volume, high velocity, and a wide variety of information assets that demand cost-effective, innovative forms of information processing for enhanced insight and decision making. Here is the summary of what actually big data means. Big data refers to complex and large data sets that have to be processed and analyzed in order to make valuable information. Big data doesn't necessarily relate to terabytes and petabytes of data, that is the size of the data. It comprises of both structured as well as unstructured data, and it grows exponentially with respect to time. It includes data mining, data storage, data analysis, data sharing, and data visualization. Big data is categorized into three based on its nature. They are structured, unstructured, and semi-structured. Structured means data that can be processed, stored, and retrieved in a fixed format. For example, employee tables, employee details that are stored in employee table. And unstructured. Unstructured data are nothing but data that lacks any specific form of structure, which makes it difficult to process and analyze. Email is an example of unstructured data. Then semi-structured. Semi-structured is a combination of both structured and unstructured data. For example, XML data. And there are three main characteristics in big data. Totally there are 5 V's in big data, but 3 out of 7, 3 are very important. Number 1, volume. Number 2, velocity. Number 3, variety. Volume, which deals with size of the data. Velocity means how fastly the data is generated, that is speed. And variety means types of data, that is structured, unstructured, and semi-structured. Other 4 V's are variability, means the changes over time, veracity, accuracy of data, visualization, presentation or graphical representation of the data, and finally value, what outcome is achieved out of these data. Next, let's see what is Hadoop and how Hadoop is related with big data. Okay, so what is Hadoop? As I said earlier, big data is a high volume and high velocity data which cannot be processed with the traditional database tools and techniques. So we need new tools and techniques to resolve such problem. One solution is, at present there is only one solution, which is Hadoop. What is Hadoop? It is an open source framework which is a Java based framework helpful for storing and processing big data. The data is stored on inexpensive commodity servers that runs as clusters. Hadoop follows distributed file system which enables concurrent processing, that is parallel processing, and ensures fault tolerance, which is developed by Doug Cutting and Michael J. Caprella. Hadoop uses MapReduce programming model, which is very important for storing data, a huge amount of data, and retrieving those data very fastly and effectively. The framework is managed by Apache Software Foundation and it is licensed under the Apache license 2.0. How Hadoop differs from the traditional databases means there are two important points to be noted. One is capacity, that is, Hadoop stores large volumes of data. And number two, its speed. Hadoop stores and retrieves data faster. So, how it is achieved? Means there are two important components that are available in Hadoop. One is Hadoop distributed file system, which splits the data into chunks and saved across clusters of commodity servers, which ensures a large volume of data can be stored at distributed environment. And another thing is MapReduce functional programming model, which ensures parallel processing, whereas data is splitted into multiple chunks and each chunk is executed concurrently across multiple servers, and they are collected at one place, and that is at the reducer end. And five important benefits of Hadoop with respect to big data are: number one, resilience, means the data are duplicated at many places, so that if one server goes down, there is always a chance for recovering data from other servers. So the data are which ensures fault tolerance. Okay, then the scalability. Unlike traditional systems that have a limitations on data storage, Hadoop is scalable because it operates in a distributed environment, so that when need arises, the setup can be easily expanded to include more servers that can store up to multiple petabytes of data. Then the next important benefit of Hadoop is low cost, because Hadoop is an open source framework which is freely available in the market, so that which is economically it is good to process the big data. Then speed, Hadoop follows distributed file system, which makes parallel processing, so that it is easy to execute the data fastly. And data diversity, Hadoop distributed file system has the capability to store different data formats such as structured, unstructured and semi-structured. So it is very helpful to analyze the big data which are in diversity nature. So in today's class, we have discussed about what is big data, what are all the characteristics of big data, and how Hadoop helps to resolve big data problems. All those things were discussed. If you have any doubts and queries, let me clarify it now.